Yeah, I'm gonna use it. We got training camp coming up. I gotta save my voice, so hopefully, that gets a little extensive and crazy.
Press on the button. Just leave the button on.
I'm sorry. My bad. First of all, thank you to Todd Bozeman. And I didn't touch the mic that time. I'll hold it up. Thank you to Coach Bose, first of all, for having all of this and putting this together. I know you all can hear me, so because I'm going to speak up. But he brought up something earlier. I'd like everybody to stand first. Stand up, please. See, this is why I got to raise my voice during training camp. I'm following instructions quickly. I want us to say as loud as possible 3 times, Blake Bozeman. Blake Bozeman. Blake Bozeman. Blake Bozeman. All right, thank you. Thank you so much. Round of applause for being that way. I know Coach Bose spoke about saying his name and how important that is so that we understand why we're here. One of the first things that he tasked me to speak about was leadership. And, he spoke a little bit about giving me a phone call and asking me to do something for him, anything for him. And the answer was yes. I don't even know if I knew what we were supposed to be doing yet. It's very difficult when this type of leader calls and asks you to do whatever it is to even think about whatever it happens to be, right? You're ready to do it because Coach Bose is such a leader and has always been a leader for all of us, myself, Keith Veeney, Dave Cox I see over there. This is one of the first coaches that were actually on a certain level of success and tangible to myself and some of these other guys. So he has exemplified leadership for me throughout. So him asking me to do something was like a no-brainer. And I don't remember knowing exactly what I was supposed to be doing from the beginning. But to that end, them asking me to speak about leadership, I had to think about what I really felt about that word. All right, does anybody have any perceptions of what they think leadership is, what they feel leadership is? Let me ask you.
Ask me?
I'm asking you. I don't know, you dress nicer than everybody.
Coach, I know you too from a long time ago. I think Marquis Brown.
You saying I'm old, that's all right.
Yeah, that's it, you trying to call me old.
No.
I don't mean like leadership. I think a good leader is an example setter. I think a lot of folks, unfortunately, lead by words and not by their actions. So in the field that I'm in, which is finance, leadership is really shown. I tell people all the time, I get high on my own supply. So the things, Mr. Vanterpool, I'm telling you about are things that I'm doing, the disciplines that I actually put into effect. So a leader to me is a person that leads by example. Now, you guys are old. You're not going to get out on the court and do none of that stuff now. But at least you have done it. Most of you guys have done it, right? So that's what I see a leader as.
Wonderful answer. Give him a round of applause, please.
Come on.
I know that we all have different ideas of what leadership actually means and how we would, quote unquote, lead. Just something that I utilize pretty often. This is a quote, but the quote goes, leadership is not about being in charge. It's about taking care of those in your charge. Leadership is not about being in charge. It's about taking care of those in your charge. Leadership is a service, period. The most important people in any movement are those other people, not the person that happens to be, quote unquote, leading. The most important factor in any movement are those people in the movement, not necessarily the person that happens to be, quote unquote, leading. And, in saying that and going through that just in my mind, very interesting. This happens to be Sunday. Everybody's not necessarily of the same religion, but Jesus Christ is the first leader that comes to mind. And the truth is, I think we all know what type of service he gave. He served all other people, served everyone else, and got them to follow a movement and chase a movement. The only way to get to God was through me, right? So just when we start to approach our players and start to approach the people that we want to take care of, we got to understand that we have to get outside of ourselves if we really want to be true leaders. Because at the end of the day, it is not about us. It has to be about everyone else. And those are a few things that I just wanted to share with the group, because this wonderful leader, Coach Bozeman, asked me to speak about something that I felt like, why don't you stand up and talk about that? You helped lead me. So, I also want to recognize someone else that I happened to bump into when I walked in. It's in the crowd, and that's Coach Tony Langley, who's up top, who has helped to lead me in life since I was 8, 9 years old. I know he looks younger than I do, but we got to get a different level of advice from him as to how he keeps accomplishing going backwards like Benjamin Buttons. But yeah, when it comes to leadership, remember, and this is the quote that I use again. All right, leadership is not about being in charge. It's about taking care of those in your charge. All right, thank you. Give yourselves a round of applause, please. So now we're getting to player development. I know Coach Vini just spoke about developing players. He spoke about different ways to get through different things, especially the way we do things in the NBA. One of the things that we have gotten a little bit deeper in the weeds with is our approach to skill acquisition. Okay, our approach to skill acquisition. Does anybody, I'm sure you do, anybody know what block training is? And don't make me call on you now. Anybody have an idea or have a perception of what block training might be? I see Coach Cox over there grinning a little bit. You got any thoughts about block training? You know what it is. You just may not have ever heard that term before. I promise you, all of you know what it is. So what block training does is basically you focus on one skill over and over and over and over and over again. And you can acquire that skill through what we used to call repetition. This is what we did. This is what I did. This is what he did. This is what Keith did. Reps. How many reps can I get up? Right? Shoot 1,000 a day. Anybody ever said or talked to somebody that said they shot 1,000 a day? Raise your hand if you have. They probably was lying, because I actually made a group do it, and the way it feels and all that stuff, they probably would have died trying to do that. So, just understand the repetition is one form of what we would call block training. What we've had studied by people that are much smarter than myself was one of the better ways to acquire certain skills. And that's through integrated training, right? And what they studied was, and I wish I had that projector with some stuff you could probably see, but what they studied was the way the brain actually works, right? And talked about the best way to acquire skill. And by best, that meant like kind of all of the categories you would think of: the fastest, the most efficient, so on and so forth, right? The best way to acquire certain skills. And again, when dealing with the mind and how it actually works, the way we always thought it worked was, I give some input, like I want you to one dribble left pull up. That's then stored into memory, and then there's an output. Okay, one dribble left pull up, and the output, I actually one dribble left pull up. We evaluate that, and then we give feedback and do it all again, right? Does that make sense to anybody? Make sense to anybody? Doug, come on out here real quick. Give him a hand, please, my brother Doug. He kind of said something about Coach Vini and thought he was going to demonstrate and kind of goaded me. So I told him I am going to demonstrate, and I'm going to bring you up here now. Here you go. Just take this ball from right here. You don't actually have to shoot it, so I'm not going to trip. All right. Again, block training type of things. We're going to rep this out. One dribble left, pull up. No, one dribble left. Just one dribble left, pull up. There you go. Good. Back again. One dribble left, pull up. That's the input. Go ahead. One dribble left, pull up. Perfect. Good. That's the input. That's recorded to his memory, his output, and then I give him some feedback. When you do that one dribble left, let me get you one dribble left. Get yourself a little bit lower on your shot, blah, 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 right? We're all aware of those type of things when we talk about training, okay? Very simple type of stuff. That is what's considered block training. All right? Integrated, when it's integrated a little bit differently, what you do is you end up adding in a few things that make it different and make it more conceptual when it comes to transferring to real action, live action type of stuff. What they did through these studies, and I'm gonna have you get to it again in a second. You can relax right now. I know you're getting tense. What they did with all these studies and what they found was actually we as a people, we're problem solvers. We need a problem. We need a problem to actually solve. We are more solution based than what people let on to, right? So when you see a basketball player, for instance, everything is based off of their decisions and obstacles that are placed in front of them, right? I would be the one to argue that no two shots are the same. There aren't any two shots that are the same because every single variable around is completely different, right? Pass may be here, pass may be there. It may be a defender standing right next to him. It may be a defender back here, maybe one over there. Everything is different in the environment, including, that's one way, go ahead. Including how he actually catches the ball. So when he catches the ball this way, he might have to seam it. He may catch it on the seams. Every single situation is different. So how can we train players to be able to perform with that knowledge? We know that the brain does not work in that same cyclical way. And we also know that every situation is different. So that's how we've gotten more and leaned much more into what we call integrated training, all right? And with the integrated training, let me have you come over here. I'm gonna have you shoot this a couple times. Here you go.
That's too far.
Back up.
No, that's too far.
Huh?
That's too far.
Well, one other thing to do, he said that's too far. One other thing to do, go ahead, take one shot. All right, perfect, no problem. Take another shot. Right. Coach, just want to ask you one quick question. You want him to shoot with more arc. What might you tell him?
Get his power through his legs.
Okay, perfect. He wants him to get his power through his legs. Not necessarily right or wrong, understand, just a little bit differently. So what we try to do, this is before the integrated space, but what we try to do is give him some type of cue that is independent of him, of his body, right? Which makes it completely different. So you tell him get more power through his legs, which means get lower, he'll try to do it, and maybe he's getting lower, maybe he isn't. Hard part about things is he can't see himself. All he can do is feel. So it feels like he's getting lower, maybe he is, maybe he isn't. What we try to do, something independent and outside of himself. So I want you to take that basketball, it has to go through here, and you make it hit my hand. So with me doing that, the only way to make this ball hit my hand is he has to shoot it higher. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Completely independent of him. Kind of similar to, I don't know, anybody ever been to, I'm sorry, thank you. Round of applause real quick. Anybody ever been to a carnival? Been to a carnival before and done a ring toss? Anybody done a ring toss? Raise your hand. I'm not going to call you done a ring toss, right? So when you grab that ring, I know you paid your $5 or your $10, you didn't want to waste it. But I promise you, you didn't look at those bottle caps and throw it as straight as you possibly could. What did you do to try to automatic? And the only reason that you would do that is because the only way for you to get that ring onto that bottle, which was down there, was to do it like this. Nobody had to tell you to shoot, to throw it higher. Nobody had to tell you to bend your knees, because that becomes something that, again, I can't see myself. We can see them, we can give them those cues, but the more cues we can give them outside of their body, it will help them acquire those skills a little bit better. Give Doug a quick round of applause. Thank you, bro. And now when we talk about integrating things, all right, integrating things. Who can shoot? Who's a shooter? I knew you was going, I was going to call on you anyway, come on. We talk about being integrated. Come on, have you same elbow. All right, I don't need you to handle the ball. I don't need you to do anything right now. All right, Coach Cox, why don't you come rebound for him, please? I know you're very skilled at that now. You're a coach, so I know how that goes. Yeah, right. We are the highest paid passers and rebounders you've ever seen in your life. So we talk about integrating some of this, okay? I could have him rep out, dribble pull-ups, shots from the elbow. But what I spoke about was how our brain and how our minds actually work and the things that will best help acquire certain skills. So one of the things I may do with him, I'm gonna have you turn and face me. All right? I'm gonna give you a quick dribble sequence. All right? You ready? Can you pick it up quickly? Yep. I don't know if I'm gonna handle it right. All right, we're just gonna go here, 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 here. All right, I just want you to keep doing that. All right, here, 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 here. Got it?
Oh, you mixed it up.
Boom,
And now
boom.
cross, between.
Got it? All right, quick dribble sequence facing me, okay? Now this is how we integrate things. Now I'm gonna give you some instruction, okay? If I give you an odd number, I want you to turn right, I'm gonna shoot a step back.
Okay.
If I give you an even number, I want you to turn left, dribble pull up. If I give you a double number, I want you to turn either way, finish at the basket, at the rim, on the left side, on the right side with your left hand. That make sense? So right now, I've given him a problem to solve, all right? First of all, he can't even see the basket. Second of all, now his brain has to actually work, which is what happens if I'm attacking the basket, attacking the rim, all type of shit is going on, all type of stuff is going on. I gotta be able to process information quickly, and I think Coach Vini spoke about it. We have to increase our processors. We gotta give this a little bit more so that all the rest of the stuff starts to become easy. You remember the sequence I gave you?
Odd number, turn right, pull up. Even number, turn left, pull up. Double number.
Odd number right, step back.
Odd number right, step back.
Even number left.
Step back. Or just
Left pull up.
Left pull up. Double was turn either way, go to the basket. Or make a move, then go to the basket. And then.
Go to the basket and finish where?
Other side.
Right side, left hand.
Right side, left hand.
All right?
Yeah.
You got me?
Yep.
You sure?
Odd number, here, step back. Mm-hmm. Even number, here, you pull up. Mm-hmm. Double number, turn either way, go to the basket, finish on the opposite side with the left hand.
My man. All right. Somebody run in there and grab me a ball, please. Start dribbling. You got it. So again, while he's handling, going through this sequence, again, I can give him all these cues, get lower, keep the ball tight, all of that stuff. It's not that it doesn't apply, but you got to keep going, keep dribbling. It's not that it doesn't apply, but there are better ways and ways that may be more efficient for him to actually acquire these skills that give him exactly what he needs, all right? So I've given him what I call a constraint. When he goes to the basket, he cannot just finish. He has to finish on the right side of the basket with his left hand. All right, I've added a constraint, which again, helps to acquire this skill in a different way. All right, you ready to go?
Yep.
Yep, 17.
Oh.
Okay, come on, right back. Straight back, handle the ball, straight to it. Good, 22. Try again, 22 is a double number. All right, you want to finish at the rim on the opposite side. Here we go, handle the ball. Process it, quick.
So double.
22, 11, 33. Those are double numbers.
So not the odd, okay.
Those are double numbers. All right. Good, 12. Give him a round of applause really quick. Not that easy, is it? Come back. I'm sorry. What's your name, first of all, and where you from?
Reggie Gardner. Currently not coaching with anybody. And I'm from PG County.
Hey, so if you can hire him, first of all. Good job, Reg.
Appreciate it.
When I asked you about that and the difficulty of it, what was your response? What did you feel?
My mind went into to process mode, just like trying to figure out a problem. So it's like training, decision making.
Great word, and I'm glad you said that without me having to basically say that to the group. But this is all about decision making. When you're training basketball players, we want people to be able to dribble around a cone, or we want them to be able to make decisions. And if I were to put a line of people that wanted people to be able to dribble around a cone or a chair in a certain way with all this fancy stuff versus a line of people that wanted their players to be able to make decisions. I know what line I'm gonna be in. The long line is what I'm gonna say. I will be in that long line, right? So we want decision makers. We have to help to create decision makers. Give Reggie a round of applause. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. Oh, no, you can leave it here. You can leave me here. Yeah, you can leave me here. That's just one small example for us as trainers, as coaches that want to create true decision makers. There are a bunch of different things. This goes very, very deep. Integrated training it's not new because, again, there's certain things that we all know constraints are, right? So can anybody give me one example of a constraint that we've all used in our day, especially all the dudes with the gray in their beards like myself? Just one constraint that you know you've used, and I'll give it to you in a second. Just one constraint that you've used. Anybody? Check ball, you got 3 dribbles. 3 dribbles to get a shot off. That's a constraint. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's a time constraint. There are a whole bunch of them. But now we've dug a lot deeper into certain things with you have to finish at the rim and there's actual defense there. And you have to finish a specific way for it to count. It's a different type of constraint. What we've also done, again, to compound upon that, variables. Okay, so let me get you right here. You have a coach passing, but I'll just do this, all right? Variable shooting. Back in the day, we just rep them out right here. Make 10 in a row, blah, 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 right? Everybody's done that. Everybody does that. What we add that makes it completely different is not the old coach standing here that's not going to actually block his shot. So it puts no pressure or stress on him taking this shot. It doesn't matter. Really doesn't do much. There's an actual coach as the ball's passing, really closing out. And he has to make a decision. So if I can block it, I might block it. If I close out this way, what might you know? You got to shoot a 3. Oh, yeah, shoot 3. Yep, and you can only dribble once. So if I close out this way, he might dribble that way and shoot this way. If I close out this way, he may dribble and shoot. And it becomes variable. So now, along with the passes being different, what happens is actually different. Shooting from the same spot. But this gives you a real, thank you, appreciate it. This gives you a real, give him a round of applause, I'm sorry. I don't like Temple too much. I played at St. Bonaventure University. We were both in Atlantic 10 at the time. So, hats off to you. I appreciate it, but. Huh? Yeah, I'm sure. But the variable context, as far as just shooting, right? Again, not saying that repetition and block training isn't valuable. It's very valuable, especially when you're trying to create a foundation or work on a skill that is very, very weak. All right, so just keep those things in mind as you're training these young athletes to become better players. How much more efficiently and how much better can I help them acquire said skill? That makes sense to everybody. I want to make sure I'm not speaking out of turn and keeping things just basically based on some of the places of growth and areas of growth that I know that I've gained just throughout a few years. One other thing, and I want to definitely challenge everybody here. If I were to just give you a ball, give you a basketball, and tell you, go work on your game, what might you do? 2 things. When I gave you a ball and said, hey, go work on your game, what would you do? 2 things, by yourself. 2 things.
2. Free throws.
Okay. Anybody else? 2 things? I'm not going to bring the mic. 2 things, quick.
Shooting and ball handling.
Okay, cool. Shooting and ball handling, right? So now I think I'm helping him get better because I'm out here, I got him handling the ball and I got him shooting. He'll do that by himself. All by himself. You don't even really need me to get better at that. Now, I can help expedite that, but the reality is you give any of your players a basketball and tell them to go work on their game, they're going to dribble, they're going to shoot. I promise you. How many shots you want to take? I'll let you play, we got 48-minute game. I'll let you play 40 minutes, and I'm going to let you take 20 shots. How long does it take you to get off a shot?
Whenever you shoot, I'm moving something.
It don't matter. I'm gonna let you take 20 shots. You don't want to? I know he want. I'm gonna let you take 20 shots. How long does it take you to get off one shot? Just one.
Like the speed.
Just to get off a shot. I give you the ball, say get your shot off. Go to your bag.
Oh. 2 seconds.
2 seconds to get off a shot. I'm gonna give him 20 shots in 40 minutes. 40 minutes of playing time. I'll give you 5 seconds a shot, right? So now you've taken care of a minute and 30 something of your 40 minutes playing time. What you gonna do the rest of the time? You better do something. Because if you standing there walking around because you took your 20 shots in a minute and 30 something, you better be able to do something. Now we're talking percentage of the game. He played 40 minutes, right? Yeah, do the math. I see you looking, thinking. It's not that long. He said it'll take him 2 seconds to get off a shot. I'm giving him 20 of them, and I'll give him 5 seconds a shot, right? So the game is not ball handling and shooting. The game is all the other shit. That's the game. That's like 98% of it. As coaches, I think we're robbing our players because we got them out here doing all this stuff. First of all, we're block training them. So it's repetition. They're over and over, standing in the spot, blah, 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 whatever. And now they don't know how to cut. They don't know when to cut. They don't know how to do this. They don't know how to do that. They don't know how to defend. They don't know how to close out. But we scream, play better defense. Well, how many times do you work on defense with an individual? How much time you spend with that? As a trainer, how much time do you spend on actually learning angles and spacing with an individual? Not with the team, with an individual. I'm willing to bet my salary, and Keith said we get paid nicely. I bet my salary that you spend less than 5% of your time with an individual working on any of that. And if anybody can challenge me on that, bring it to me. We have to do better as coaches, as people, as leaders. We want to lead, got to be innovative, got to do something different, and we have to lead them properly. I think that's my time. I know Coach Bo's over there going crazy because I probably went on it. But anybody got any questions, anything they want to ask, anything, I'm here for any of that. Go ahead. Can anybody, you need another mic? I don't know.
Conor Rose and Coach GD Author. My question is, so what's you still do block training yourself, or are you trying to move towards integration? And do you think block training is going away, or is it here to stay? I'm sorry, integration.
Yeah, I don't think it's going away. I don't think it should. Definitely still do some things that are actually blocked. Being in the NBA, we need them to acquire skills at a high level and quickly. So generally, that foundation should be where it needs to be. Block training really helps from a foundational perspective. It helps you focus on one specific thing, keep yourself low, get your feet here, all of that, all of those things are helpful. They're also helpful with a player that has a ton of weaknesses in a specific area. It changes the focus where it's just this one thing, so that they at least get that foundation, and then you can kind of graduate into an area that translates a little bit more fluidly. All right, anybody else?
I got a question.
Okay.
When training a guy like like one of your specialists, like your shooters, and I know we were just talking about like the difference between taking threes and taking twos. Like a Corey Kispert, you probably don't want him taking too many twos. What's the development for him, like the process?
Corey is a high-level shooter. First of all, when it comes to, I guess, just spot shots, there will be some of that, but Corey very rarely is going to have his feet set with nobody running at him and even taking that type of shot. So most of the time he's flying off and in those situations and scenarios. So he deals with a lot more of the variability factor, right? It's like, how much of this variable stuff can we get? But the other part of it is Corey has different areas that he can, his game needs to expand. So being able to actually get to the basket and finish, which he can do, because he's athletic, he's big, he's strong, he can finish. Being able to make decisions now off of that. because people aren't going to allow him to just be out here shooting. They're closing out as fast as they can because their coaches instructed them, don't let him shoot any threes. So now he has to be able to get in here, someone else coming over. Now what kind of decisions can he make? So some of that variability that I kind of went through with you, it's not about making a step back jump shot from the free throw line. Like, that's cool, and he can make that too, but can you make a decision? So it helps with the decision making. That makes sense? Yeah, cool. Oh, I'm sorry, right here. Hold on, let me make sure everybody can hear you. Okay. And don't forget, please tell us who you are, where you're from, so you know, everybody understands.
I'm Tony from NCAA. As far as the block training and what you just talked about, as far as the less training that we spend on defense. So one of the things I'll do on some of our practices, we might spend a whole 2 hours of not dribbling the ball, just pass and react. All defense. This is the whole team. And then you switch it around, but it also goes back to everything you just said. The concept is to make them think. Cut, pass, but you can't dribble the ball. That makes a lot of sense.
That's a constraint, yep. No, it makes a ton of sense. That's a constraint. You have a constraint there. You have some decision making, and it's a defensive practice that, you know, makes sense. The part about that and the piece about that is we all do it for practice sake. So when we get a whole team, we think, okay, there's a shell and there's blah blah blah, and it's cool. The question is, it's cool and it's okay for us to have our players imagine a defense when we're working with them offensively from an individual perspective, but why doesn't it work the other way? Why aren't we, you know, you're this part of the shell, you got to get to the nail, you have to blah, 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 your defenders are here. Like, why don't we challenge them to become creative mentally, defensively? It's the same. This is not football. I know we try to, offensive coach, defensive coach, we say two sides of the ball is round. It's a circle. How many sides in the circle? If somebody says one, I'm really going to lose my mind. There are no sides in the circle. Basketball it is not like the other sports. Everybody that plays offense has to play defense, or you probably will sit them on the bench. And everybody that plays defense gets a chance to play offense. It's not like some of the other sports. In soccer, the defensemen, they're allowed to go kick, but they're supposed to be back here guarding. The goalie stays in the goal. So, I mean, I don't know that we are doing our players a real service when it comes down to act. You know, we complain, oh, they don't know how to play no more. Yeah, well, no shit, we ain't teaching them how to play. We teaching them how to handle, we teaching them how to shoot, because that's what's sexy. But that ain't what they're gonna be doing. And in the NBA, the guy that handles and shoots, guess how much we pay him? Get like 50, 60 million. The rest of these dudes better be able to do something else. Because all the handling and shooting in the world ain't gonna get them to that. Brother Doug?
Talk about how important film study is. Talk about how important film study is in player development aspect.
Yeah, film is majorly important in it's always been of a high level of importance. First of all, from a load perspective, right? I know you all have heard of load management. We don't really use that word, but we do have a better understanding from the data as to what's going on with each of our players' bodies. So we can actually see when player X is getting closer and closer to what we would call the red zone and basically injury, like something is about to happen to his body. And this is from all of the studies that they're doing. You know, we get really, really deep with all of that stuff to understand that. So the question is, how can we continue to help them improve without physically running around and being on the court, because that does nothing but pound and destroy your body. This is what you do every single day. When you play basketball, you are destroying your body every single minute. You lift weights, same thing. So for us, we have to dig into film study, and we've started to delve a little bit more deeply into basically trying to trying to have integrated training through film, meaning, you all probably have done this before where you're playing a clip and then you pause it and you ask the player, okay, what do you see? What's about to happen? What's blah, 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 so on and so forth. You've kind of done that. That's some forecasting stuff. But that, again, has that processor working. Again, it's a muscle up here. And we have to work that as much as possible, as often as possible. And getting players an opportunity to be able to see some things slowed down gives them a different perspective. Anybody else? Hey, that's all the time, I believe. Thank you so much for having me. I definitely appreciate it. Hopefully I'm able to help. So thank you.
Appreciate you.